Hi there, I'm Richard. Welcome to Burning Spears. Today I thought I'd shoot a short little video on my YouTube heroes, the people who I've learned to trust and the people I follow closely and intensely on YouTube. Now, I'm still a young YouTuber. I've been going since, currently I've been going for less than a year. So I started on the 15th of July 2024 and now we're in February 25. So I'm currently at 566 followers, which for me is great. It's a lot. It's been a real good journey, and the views have been good. And I look at some of these guys, absolute giants in the game, and some of them have been going since 2015. Some have got 5 million subscribers. I mean, absolute giants, and they're like that for a reason. Some are smaller, not so well known, but for the various reasons that I will outline, I follow them because they provide something that I like and something that I often look for when researching. So when I do research, often it's something I haven't cooked before or something that I want to make sure I nail. I want to nail it on camera. I don't want to have to stage anything. I don't want to sensationalize anything. I want pure honesty and integrity with my product. You won't see me spray painting a steak a certain color or just using a paprika or turmeric on something just simply so that it has pop and pull on the camera. You know, I don't believe in any of that. I'm wanting to be happy with what I produce and to show how I got there to people in a fun way, with tips and pitfalls. We're not perfect. Those of you who barbecue and cook in general will know that it's a long and winding road that never ends. And I'm sure all chefs know and see that. I mean, if you were to look at like Heston Blumenthal or Gordon Ramsay, they're still not perfect. They've still got a lot to learn. It's endless. Anyway, I'm harping on a bit much. So, in no particular order, I'm just going to call out the YouTube channels that I follow, and I will put their details in the description down below. If ever you are wanting to look up something or something like that, please use these guys. They are very, very good at what they do, and I aspire to these sort of levels. My first mention is all things barbecue. atbbq.com. Chef Tom, wow, man, this guy is incredible. He cooks stuff honestly, integrity, and with a great integrity and naturally, and he doesn't beat around the bush. He's very creative, extremely creative. Actually, he's one of the more creative guys out there with regards doing cocktails where you barbecue the peaches and put them in a cocktail, down to a pasta, down to your traditional barbecue fare, and all the hundreds of permutations. Lots of videos, lots to get through on this channel, but a real top channel and really, really good guidance. It's my go-to. Another great thing about him is his not so common pairings and ingredients, and he really, really tries. Been going a long time, so I can imagine you've really got to work hard at producing good and original content when you get to that stage. You know, me at this stage in my life, I've got so much that I want to get out there. I want to get out to YouTube, to the public. I think I've probably got about 2 years just screaming to get out of my head that I shouldn't really struggle to come up with content for 2 years. But then what do you pick up on the way there? So it's I think maybe after 5 years or something like it really gets hard. So well done to a guy like this. And then we'll get on to Meat Church Barbecue. So Matt Pittman, the CEO of Meat Church Barbecue, wants it to be a global brand, so it's a barbecue brand. The great thing about Matt is he's not seeking YouTube fame. He is using YouTube to promote Texas style barbecue or barbecue, to promote his friends and colleagues in the business. He does amazing collabs, some really, really good stuff. The one that springs to my mind is the cheddar cheese and jalapeno smoked sausages. Stunning video. And he's, like I say, he's not in it for the fame. He's using it for a far more holistic reason, and that comes out. His honesty, and man, that dude is just Texas. If you had to bottle Texas, to distill it and bottle it, he would be inside that bottle. So really, really good channel to watch. I thoroughly enjoy that view. Then we're going to come to Chud's Barbecue. Now, my nickname, being Richard, my nickname is Chuddy or Chuds, and a lot of people know that by me. So the first channel that when I started looking at, there was Chud's Barbecue, and I was like, whoa, look at this must be cool. And then it was Bradley Robinson who's the thing. I don't know why he called it Chud's, but Bradley, if ever you see this, thanks for naming your barbecue channel after me, buddy. Bradley Robinson, humorous guy, man. Very, very funny. Also very honest. And man, that guy has got variety. He does his own bread rolls that you wish you could buy in your supermarket. From memory, comes from a lot of sausage making. His sausage making game is massive, really, really big. Down to the manufacture of barbecue equipment and his Chud box. I have seen Wilson's Barbecue hang around with him quite a bit and do shows here in the UK. Really good to see. All round top guy and great variety in his cooks. A big performer. Honestly, he's already gone places, and I love his setup and his studio that he works. He's got a great garden view of his backyard, you know, and how he cooks, and like I say, very funny guy. Well then, you know, cooking with a Kamado Joe, and cooking a lot with a Kamado Joe, there is Smoking Dad Barbecue. So James Mack is like a global authority on Kamado Joe's, Kamado style grilling. Does everything. Cooking with live fire, that's the popular term these days. For me, it's just cooking. But James Mack, if you want to know anything about a Kamado Joe, he's already forgotten it. He's tried everything. His comparisons, his techniques and that are groundbreaking. There isn't a bigger expert on the planet of Kamado Joe's than he is. Nice guy as well, honest, and yeah, he does. I mean, I haven't watched many of them, but he does like a little vids where he goes out and helps someone with a problem. Like someone in Oregon will cook sloppy wings, like they never get crisp. He'll go out there and make a video out of it, which is really a nice place to be in life. So Smoking Dad Barbecue, if you want to know anything about these things, or Kamado, I mean, Big Green Egg you'll also have those same sort of tips, you know. So have a look at this guy. He's something special. And then someone who I admire very, very much is Wilson's Barbecue, Dave McCormack. So, being South African, I know my way around a fire, and I can handle a cook on a fire as good as anyone else. Put me alongside anyone. On a live fire, I can handle my own. But the barbecue stuff was fairly new to me. I started getting into it when a friend lent me Kamado Joe Jr., and then they asked me to instruct at their barbecue school. I did that for a year, and it was there where the barbecue cooking took hold. And one of the videos I saw was this English guy doing videos, and next thing he's got a offset smoker in his stereotypical small English backyard. It came in with a crane and all of that. And I'm checking this guy out and I'm thinking, wow, this seems a little bit strange. He presents from inside his kitchen most of the time. So I started watching his videos, and again, honest, super humble guy. Dave McCormack from Wilson's Barbecue, I don't know if I mentioned that heading. He cooks barbecue and he did pop-ups and all of that. He's learnt on his own, and he pulls off amazing barbecue food. And the sort of peak for me was he was doing that occasionally. The YouTube term was sort of like a sideline. The barbecue aspect was sort of like a sideline. Now, eventually he took the plunge. I think he's got a young children or a young child, and he took the plunge to quit his day job and to focus on YouTube full time, coupled with events and catering. He did a lot of, like I say, a lot of pop-up catering and stuff like that, and that's how he got known out there. But Dave, hats off to you, mate. If ever you watch this, I respect what you've done, taking the plunge like that. It's something I haven't had the balls to do yet. I'm probably going to follow you closely and follow the same sort of route, just to get out of my monotonous day job. So watch this guy. It's just no frills barbecue cooking, simple, honest, and the results, you can see the results are there on his cooks. Nothing to hide behind, no sensationalism, just heart on his sleeve. Okay, then we get to a different one, Pitmaster X. So he's from the Netherlands. Being South African, speaking Afrikaans, I should be able to pronounce Roel Westra very well, but I don't know if in Dutch they might say Roel or something like that. But Roel he brings European flair to barbecue. Let me tell you something. He is a little bit more on the sensationalist side, but not in a bad way. He's entertaining, he's funny, and I love his stuff. He comes up with some pretty different ideas, and based on his European spicing and all of that sort of thing, it's very different stuff. So a real entertaining watch. He was a big inspiration on me in building this YouTube studio. Being from the Netherlands, this was sort of before I was watching Wilson's Barbecue. Being from the Netherlands, like slightly closer, and he was one of the inspirations for me to take this step and to build this studio, like I said. And I wish I had his one. It's pretty special. Okay, and then on to some of the more different style, step away from American barbecue, stepping away from American barbecue. Now, I like to, before the barbecue bug bit, certainly up till about 2022, to just after COVID, I was working on sort of high-end style plating cooks. I did a lot of technical cooks and stuff like that. And whether or not I have the imagination to plate at a very high level, I don't know. I'm never really happy with my plating. But I still have that sort of fine dining-esque bug in me. I can cook food very well, normal food. And I have a great intuition for the techniques and the flavors involved, and I make stuff come together. That probably comes from growing up from a single mother household where there wasn't a lot in the fridge. She struggled and she worked hard to support me, so I had to be creative, and I think that's sort of given me a quite a large edge in my style of cooking and stuff like that. So moving on to my YouTube heroes. I'm starting to sound like my own hero, which I'm not. So there's a YouTube channel called Fallow. Now, Fallow is one of, I believe it's 3 restaurants. I'm not sure of the third one offhand. I should have researched it. But there's Fallow, and the newest one is Roe. Now, chefs Jack Croft and William Murray, these guys are shit hot. They are amazing. So I always like to see hyper gifted professional chefs using their intuition and their knowledge, their skill that they've honed and that they've developed to just cook. If you watch their videos, there's no real recipes flying around. Okay, obviously if there's baking and stuff to be done, that's being followed. But these guys are the real deal. They are producing high-end food in the UK and London, and their skill is massive. Absolute giants in the industry, and entertaining to watch. Man, you get a lot of knowledge after watching one of their videos and seeing how it's done in a professional kitchen. Really awesome to see. I cannot remember this. I recommend this channel more. You have to check it out. And what you will see, how they try and translate a lot of this stuff to home cooks and simple cooks and restaurant techniques that, for instance, like the saucier stuff, the saucier produces the stocks, the gravies, the sauces, which are so important and set apart restaurant cooking from home cooking. They try and show you those techniques and all of that. So just bountiful knowledge and technique. Really, really good watch. Then on to probably the biggest guy in cooking, I would say. I don't know if I must actually look and see if Gordon Ramsay's got more followers than this guy, but Guga Foods, over 5 million subscribers. He's a giant. He's an absolute giant in the business. So Gustavo Tosta, that's his name, he's commonly referred to as Guga, Brazilian born, I believe, from Brazilian descent. He's cooked more steaks in more ways with more weird permutations than anyone else on the planet. He's probably the world steak expert. I don't think I've seen a channel that even comes that surpasses 10% of Guga's level of this. He is extremely sensational, and in a good way again. He will be doing stuff that like coating a steak in gold leaf, or dry aging something in rare Peruvian bat tears for 8 years. That's an exaggeration, of course, but you get the gist. And he upscales cooking, quite surprisingly. So apart from the pure entertainment value, you get a lot of the experiment out of it, and a lot of the knowledge out of it. And then often he slips in the side dish that's completely unique. Some of the stuff I've seen, I'm like, wow, that's very leftist. So real entertaining and very different, original and necessary content. Some of the stuff you need to see in your life to see how he's compared that, or he takes on the American steakhouse giants and stuff like that. So a great watch. Guga Foods, you've got to check them out. And then 2 lesser known YouTube channels that I follow. Both are South African. So you could say in my mind I've saved the best for last, but everyone on this list is great. Oh, I wish I look forward to matching some of these guys if ever I do. But these 2 South African YouTube channels. The first one is Volkberg Artisans. So for those non-Afrikaans or speakers out there, it would be Wolkberg. So WOLKBERG, Volkberg Artisans or Volkberg Artisans. They quite fairly secretive in the way that I couldn't find too much detail of them. Of course, they come from their farmers on the Volkberg mountains, probably in the Conservancy area, and basically an Afrikaans family. Through the listening, watching their videos intently, I do watch them very closely because I'm very jealous of a lot of things they do. I've heard the baby in the background being a baby, then being a toddler, and so hearing that progression, living on a farm in an idyllic part of Africa or South Africa. The scenery is fantastic. All of their wonderful dogs. I miss having dogs. They must probably have about 6 or 7 dogs. They cook a lot of South African braai fare, a lot, naturally. A lot of South African cooking, dishes and stuff like that, like potjies and things like that. However, they also cook a lot of barbecue and a lot of fairly unique recipes and dishes that they've come up with. And for me, it's quite strange because traditionally in South Africa, you're fairly narrow-minded as opposed to a braai, and braai being the best thing, but a barbecue is not the same thing. And it's done in a certain way. It has certain, I suppose, areas that it operates in. But these guys have come out and they've been doing some Mexican dishes and stuff like that, and permutations, and how they've used the ingredients that they can get hold of to make these dishes, and real broad spectrum. So very, very interesting channel to watch. Their style is different because they're not about the personality and that sort of thing. They're about the food. You see the food, a little bit around what's living on, and you hear their interactions, but you don't see them, which has its own nuances as well that are quite nice. But yeah, I couldn't find their names on the net. I'll probably have to do a deep dive, but I won't bother. I love their content. That's all I need to get out of it. Now, what's even more surprising about them is how they cook, what they cook on. So in South Africa, something like this is unattainable unless you are extremely wealthy, and I mean very wealthy. You can't spend 50,000 Rand on a barbecue equipment. A Weber, a normal Weber, you've got to be definitely sort of like a middle class and upper to have a normal Weber. Most of the nation cooks on it's open fire generally, in a half drum, in a fire pit, on the ground. That's how we, and certainly I grew up cooking. So Volkberg, they take it to a new level because they've got, I would love to see a video on their Weber sort of drum smoker thing. This thing is old. I've never seen one like it. And then you see how the cooking grates are all made with rebar, like reinforcing bar. They cook with amazing wood, and the rest of the cooking equipment. It's all, nothing is hyper modern, and that's what's so great about them is they produce these dishes with the rawest and most simplest methods of cooking out there, which is phenomenal. It's really good. So. For those non-South Africans, do give these guys a watch. It's really cool to see. I love their videos. I can sit and watch them for hours. And then a newcomer, last but not least. And again, I mentioned that these have been in no particular order. They're just all amazing. Pants down, apron on. So this guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's South African, but I don't know if it's Charles, but it's got an E on the end with an accent. So I don't know if it's Charlet or Charles. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name if ever you see this video. But hands down, apron on. This guy is a very, very skilled chef, trained chef. And he produces these videos. He scripts them really well, which is where I lack. Although I do like the organic thing. I'll probably say too often, but I will try and work on that. But he scripts his stuff very well. Extremely professional. You can see that the techniques and the recipes he's used are his, and they're developed, and he's worked on them a lot. I think he does his own filming, which, big respect. I do my own filming and it's not easy. I mess up so often, it's frightening. And he And I think he edits and does his own marketing and all that sort of thing himself. I don't edit myself because I'd be clueless. It would take me so long to do one video that a friend of mine does that for me. So Nick Donaghy, thank you for all of your hard work on my channel, mate. But Pants Down Apron On, you got to watch it. He is hilarious. He is extremely funny. Puts a lot of thought into his videos, and he doesn't just do South African food. He does normal stuff. He wants you to, again, as home cooks, to lift up your game, to produce amazing foods. So that's his passion, and he wants it to come across. So these are the guys that I recommend. Like I said, I'll have them all mentioned in the description below. And I hope you guys watch some of these and please subscribe to them. You know, like in my case, it's subscription, likes and subscribes. It's the subscriptions are so important. I mean, I don't even know how I'm going to get to my first goal of 1,000 in time by the 15th of July. I'm getting a few a day, so I know that I'm doing a good job out there. And I suppose I should be more patient. I should just enjoy the ride, which I'll probably take away from it. But certainly looking at these big and medium and small guys that I've mentioned, they provide a lot of inspiration and a lot of advice. So if you are looking for advice, if you're looking for entertainment in the food side, start watching some of these guys. Please like and subscribe with them as well. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope it was informative to some of you, and I'll see on the likes and the watches how well this does. But it'll be interesting to see how the sort of strictly talking type video works. I know I'm often not the most entertaining person. I'm quite monotone, and I'd like my humor to come across more. I'm actually a very funny guy, but let's see if I can get that inspiration from Pants Down Aprons On. It's really good. Thank you guys, and hope to see you watching my YouTube heroes. Thank you very much. That's it.